Hello everyone! Today I'm doing something special. Me and Freeze partnered up for a video giving our thoughts on the TG changes. This is the second part, and if you haven't watched the first, you can go on his channel to check it out. Link in the description. Welcome Freeze!
Hello, thanks for having me.
Today we're going to talk, after we talked a bit with some questions on the first video, we're gonna talk about my opinions and about the TG characters, and we will see if you have something to add on it.
I'll try my best.
So one character that we haven't touched is JJ. We asked which heroes need another round in another TG, but we haven't approached JJ. We said very little about him. We said that he needs to be a bit stronger. His changes were overall good, but I personally believe he needs a bit more. What do you think of that?
Yeah, like you said, he needs more because Zhanhu just completely overshadowed him. If you wanted a team fighter in these testing rounds, I'm gonna pick Zhanhu. I'm not even gonna look at JJ. Even if the changes were good, like you said, but just played second fiddle.
Okay, and having a character being overshadowed by someone else, is that truly a rate of comparison? Like, as in, only as we're talking competitive? What about just picking JJ in matchmaking? He's good. He's not a bad character to pick right now.
Oh yeah, sure. But it's a general problem with For Honor, isn't it? That sometimes have heroes that are just so much better than similar ones. But I don't think you can avoid that in that kind of game. Even if you look at MOBAs, you're gonna have like 3-4 mid laners that are just better than the other 50, however many there are. So it's just gonna be an up and down. But yeah, if they want JJ to be at the very top, he needs more.
Is it just his kit, or is it his feats as well that make him worse than Zhanhu?
I think feats in general play a big part in whether a character is like truly outstanding or just average. And yeah, I don't know, he didn't suffer as much as Berserker from the removal of revenge attacks, I'd say. And by the way, I do not play JJ, so this is just me putting stuff together of what other people said and what I can observe.
I mean, it's for sure he didn't suffer as much as Berserker.
No, yeah. I mean, that I'm sure. But
plus, Inspire.
He doesn't really have that. What is he picking? Like tier 1 is deadly, I guess? Or is it
tier 1?
He has speed revive?
No. He has the one. It's not bugged anymore, isn't it? Like the tier that, amplifies damage based on how many people are around you.
Oh, is that okay? Fair enough. But yeah, then the second is what, benefaction or something?
No, it's Inspire, isn't it?
Inspire, yeah. But I'm just. How do I put this? It's none of these are truly outstanding, I'd say. Yes. But Inspire is fine, I guess. Yeah.
So, what I would say about JJ is right now he's, let's say, he's very similar to Zhanhu. Like the way he plays, the concept of him in team fights. He's a guy that goes in the back and tries to get his unblockable swinging and do big damage. Problem is, Zhanhu does more damage, swings a bit faster, swings a bit further, and also has zone peel. And also has deflect, also has a lot more things. So question is, if JJ wants to compare to Zhanhu, he has to... no, not question. If JJ wants to compare to Zhanhu, he needs to be improved. Either something new, something that Zhanhu doesn't have, or just continue giving him this identity that is very similar to Zhanhu's.
Yeah.
And changes that can help him reach Zhanhu's level. Let's do something. Let's try to put them all approximately on a tier list.
Oh,
where would you say JJ would be around?
In a first tier list.
Yeah, in a first tier list.
Low A, I guess.
Low A?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say that's acceptable.
I mean, he can be picked as a team fighter, right? So I don't think that's much of a debate. He does that well, just not as good as some others. But he's not I don't know, was a shit team fighter. I don't know. He's not a pre-rework warden, I guess.
Yes.
But no, you know what I mean. It's just, but he's fine. He's fine in that regard. That is what the goal was, to make him pickable, and pickable he is.
Yeah, well, that's a hard concept to debate and put an exact limit on. Like, technically, you can pick Orochi and win, but I mean, it's you have to put a limit somewhere, and that's always subjective. That's always hard. Are we putting a competitive limit? I mean, it's a bit hard there. I'm not sure if he's truly pickable if you put a competitive limit. What you can objectively say is just his worst. Sorry.
I'm just trying to think how many heroes would you pick over him as a team fighter? 3?
As a team
fighter? You want strict team fighter, right?
Okay, Zhanhu, Warlord, Kensei. Maybe Griffin. Maybe VP, but VP is not necessarily just a team fighter. I mean, I got like not sure about War Master. I mean, no, War Monster. If you take into account feats, yes. I mean, there are a lot of heroes you can pick over Zhanhu. Zhanhu, Zhang.
JJ, yeah, fair enough. Then I guess I have to agree with you in the competitive one, because that's too many. If you have this kind of list before you even get to him. Yeah,
I agree. What can be done with characters like this is like have him maybe have super big I don't know what's it called, when two players play together very well. They have has synergy with another character, and that synergy can create something greater than a character itself, and maybe then he can be picked.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like, for example,
in general, that's a very interesting concept. If they'd aim for that with more heroes.
Like, here's a great example of the opposite. Kensei and War Monster are great heroes by themselves. But when you have a composition that has both War Monster and Kensei, you have a small gap in that composition where two characters just cannot gank with each other. And to that point, because they cannot gank to each other, they simply cannot work with each other that well. Because even if it's a 2v2, you kill one guy, you have to gank. We cannot gank, well, that's a problem. So if you have the opposite, where he does something very well with a character, he could be picked and ignore the small flaws of like not having as good as a team fighter as this guy. Okay, let's move on. I think we talked a bit too much on JJ. Okay. Zhanhu was the star of TG.
Yeah, he was.
He's right now hands down the best team fighter in the game. Like, he was always a powerful team fight. Like, if you think about it, he has 49 damage unblockables with winner's advantage.
Yeah.
And now he just has a way easier time getting to them because of enhanced dodge attacks, better zone, and overall just safer weaves that can bait people into powerful deflects.
Yeah, I think he's a really nice example. You remember when we had the testing grounds with Warlord and Gladiator? And I remember myself, I just glanced over the Warlord changes and was like, what the fuck's that? It's just, forget that. And then it turned out, because all the recovery changes that Warlord has gotten made him so powerful. And I think the same thing happened with Zhanhu. All of a sudden, when you realize you can chain everything together, the recovery counters, the lower recovery, all that just made him extremely fun to play, very effective, and it's not like he got something insanely new, like a whole new moveset. No, it's just what he had. Recoveries got lowered, and he could chain it much better together. I think that's a really cool approach, and to see that this can work out.
So the reason for that is because when we're talking about a good team fighter, one important question is, how safe is he?
Exactly.
And if you have a character that can attack and have afterwards, if he goes into recovery, an option to get out of it, and not only that, to get out of it and punish the opponent for making the wrong read, then you have a very good character. Like Berserker had the same concept, which was worse. and that made him a very good 2v2 hero in the era where bashes and CC were not so common. Like if you remember Kensei Nobushi days, Berserker was one character that could do well, just because he couldn't be punished as easily, and he had recovery cancels. So that alone, the fact that you can make a character safe, helps him a lot when it comes to being a good team fighter. Now, one other thing that is important for a team fighter, maybe the most important thing, or second most, is his healing abilities, which Zhanhu never really lacked in, but now he has improved immensely in that category. He has a 500 MS undodgeable zone. Like, that might be the contestant, not a contestant, the motherfucking winner of the best zone in the game. Yeah. Like, hands down.
Yeah, I remember when I talked about the warden changes, you know, when the warden zone became blue by accident. Yes. And I said, oh, that's gotta be the best zone then. And now we have a zone with even lower recovery on Zhanhu with all these properties and a bigger hitbox. So yeah, I don't think there's a question. Like you said, it's the best zone, especially team fighting zone in the game.
Most importantly, when we're talking about zone, it's also important what it leads into. And for Zhanhu, that leads into 49 damage unblockables, which with good hitbox, good range, and amazing damage. Like,
yeah, and it's not just limited to that. Because you can recover the dodges into everything.
Exactly. It's super fucking good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, like, honestly, I would like to see an experiment. Just take away some stuff from Zhanhu, like take away maybe like the pawn strike, or what else did he get? Got some, and he would still be the best team fighter.
Yeah.
And we can take small changes, but he will leave his zone and the fact that we can dodge out of it and be so safe, and he will still be super fucking good. So
you think that's healthy? Having one thing being so overpowered? It is kind of, not overpowered, but so overwhelmingly good that you can just say, oh, the rest, the other half of the kit is unimportant.
That's a good
question. That is it kind of is a thing with a lot of heroes.
Yeah, take Warlord in 1v1s, for example. He only, it's mostly headward mix-up with a bit of frame advantage on lights.
Yeah.
But nothing special. But just the headbutt itself, the moving so powerful, makes him very, very good. And obviously there's more. There's like, out of stamina pressure, the fact that he can put people always if they're half stam, etc.
Yeah.
So, in conclusion, I think Zhanhu is, as I said, the best. Question now is he broken? Like,
is he broken?
Yes, is he brokenly good?
I had so much fun with him. I don't want a weak version of that hero to come back. Is he broken? I don't think he's broken, no. The damage might be a little too high, and the zone might be a little too good, but we can adjust both of these things down a little, and he's still going to be more than fine. So...
okay.
If you say broken, maybe a tiny bit, but not game-breakingly broken.
Okay. Well, in this case, let's move to the next hero, Aramusha. First of all, what I have to say to me is that he does not seem bad. Like, the changes helped him. He's good. But it's not like Zhanhu that popped into my eyes like, wow, this character is amazing. Like, on paper, he had got the most changes. Am I correct?
Yes. Yeah, because all the blade blockade moves got moved around, and yeah, I guess kit got much bigger overall. Yeah.
But the character improved. He looked very flashy on paper. He had options. But if you ask me where I would rate him, I would put him bottom of A, or maybe not even there. I'd put him like top B in 44.
Yeah.
The reason for this is I feel like he suffers from the problem of not having a good role and not being impressive at any others. Like, he's not the best team fighter, and that's understandable. You don't need every character to be the best team fighter, but he's a mediocre team fighter. Like, you know what he is actually? He's a content machine. Yeah, that's what I see him as. you have him like as maybe okay 1v2 flashy things, but when it comes to actually being able to do something with your teammates, it's I'm not so sure how powerful he is. What do you think of this?
That's one thing I really enjoy with him as a concept, the blade blockade recovery cancel. Being able to punish on the reaction the dodge attacks from others. I think it's a really interesting concept. Because, you know, when people, when they talk about, something is risky or whatever, then they mean, I can dodge it in GB. And a lot of the time that's not the case, but dodge attacks punish way more than dodging in GB. And with Aramusha being the opposite, I think that is a really interesting concept. But I don't know whether it worked out in the grand scheme of things.
Well, what does he really have outside that? A dodge attack?
Does he? I mean, yeah, but more and more heroes get the dodge attack. But yeah, you're right. What else does he have? I mean, you can't punish him easily in team fights, I guess, because you can recover. I guess you can't punish him with attacks easily or with blockable attacks. But unblockables and whatever, you can't do anything about that either. So, yeah. What has he got? Where does he stand out? I guess that's a good question.
So here's what I think. I think he's a good hero. Stand alone to play him in MM and solo carry and do fine. But when it comes to playing with a team, he loses a lot of power because there are just other characters that simply outclass him. He's good for clips, he's good for maybe playing an MM alone, but when it comes to him being a team character, he is not.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you're looking for a hero where you want to do your anti-gank montages, I think he'll serve you just fine. Because if people just randomly spam attacks into you, you're gonna look good. So yeah, that niche he fills, I guess. But yeah, like you said, what in a coordinated team, what role does he fill?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Alright, I mean, I think that's it with Aramusha. Let's move on to Shugoki. So, he's a strong boy. He can hit you really hard now. He's a character that I think to truly excel, he needs teammates around. He can do very well in team fights if set up properly and helped. But he can do good on his own. But I think he truly exceeds when he's with teammates. Maybe in like a 2v3, for example. The addition of Headbutt is excellent. And now he does way better in one-shots. Like, actually, just significantly way better. Like, he was I put him mid B to bottom B, and now I put him like top A. Like, that's how much better.
I would have said mid A, but yeah, top A. Fair enough. Yeah, I think his place. Sorry, you wanted to. You keep going.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I think his playstyle changed a little because before you wanted to go always into the chain heavy, and then that's when your offense started, right? But now with the headbutt, you get into the chain one so easily. You don't even need to throw the attacks all the time. I don't know. It's hard to say because I struggled when I first picked him up. I played him like before, and that just didn't work out. I did terribly. Took me a few games to realize now I need to play him differently now, and I think that's what because when I looked at my comment section, I saw many Shugoki got ruined, and I think it's just people played him the wrong way. I think people need to relearn how to play the hero because he plays a little different now.
Yeah, I can say this being the reason why people would comment that. And what I can say about him is I saw the changes, I was impressed by them, so I had to pick him up. Played very little, but because I never played that much, it was very easy for me to learn and do good with him. So I can tell you this guy is very good. I had no past experience on him, and just by being able to play a couple of games, I can tell you he has big potential. Like I see potential even in Forza as a comp pick. not just as once. And one thing that I may remind you is that he has probably the best tier 4 in the game, hands down.
Oh, you'd say it's the best?
Yes.
Really? A staggering blow, the best tier 4 in the game?
Yes.
Interesting. I mean, it's extremely good. I'm not arguing that even in the slightest. But the best? Interesting.
What contenders does it have?
I don't know. Isn't it like one Monsters tier 4?
I still think this is better. It's 45 seconds and with one team.
It lasts forever, you're right. Oh, I keep forgetting that. I'm always surprised when I use it and then I'll rotate to another point and it's still up. It's like, what is happening? Yeah, it lasts so long, you're right.
Also, I don't know if you know, but setups and properly learning can mean, like, for example, on a zone or on a heavy, you knock someone down, and then you can do like an unblockable to knock them down again, and then you get another heavy. So if people get good at this and learn the timings, then it can be like super insane in a team fight.
Yeah, I saw something. What is it? Is it
It's pro team.
Because you throw.
Yeah.
Because with staggering blows, your throws unbalance them too, and the light into fully charged heavy right knocks them down again, and then another heavy. That's the kind of stuff I think.
I mean, that's not the one I shared.
I mean, you use the one where teammate sets up for your zone, right?
No. I use the one where you get a light parry, you heavy, and then you unblockable heavy from neutral, and then you heavy again.
From neutral, interesting. Yeah, I think people never gave it enough, I don't know, lap time, I guess. Because it's broken, yeah. But there are probably way more combinations that we haven't figured out yet.
Exactly. I just think like we just need someone that would, a very good player to just put up and show everyone how big of a potential this character has. Because right now on paper, he seems to me like he can easily be making it into the top 4 composition with the changes.
Interesting.
Even though he doesn't exceed at one thing specifically, he's one of those characters like Aramusha that doesn't have super easy role, but can still do very well.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Warlord is like that as well.
Agree. By the way, do you think we're gonna see the demon drift?
Demon drift. Well,
the demon drift, the
running.
The only charge running thing. Yeah, you think we're gonna keep that? I mean, everyone
know.
loved it, but I think it's way too strong.
Yeah, it is very strong. Is it faster than Shinobi or?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's.
I think right.
Yeah, I mean, of course, if that is kept in, the character will easily be in the meta. Like I don't know if you guys know, but fucking running speed helps so much. Like think of Gladiator, who can just get on the point and just run around pillars because he has faster running speed and be hard to be caught. Like that just simply helps so fucking much.
Yeah, and you can't run away from Goki either.
You cannot.
I mean, how would you run away from him if he just unlocks and runs?
No, you cannot. You cannot. Yeah, true. You cannot.
Yeah.
So he's the best chaser in the game.
I think so, isn't he? I mean, if you're not too far away, if you're too far away, obviously you can't catch up and we'll have to stop because of stamina. But if you're within, I don't know, many meters, I don't know. It's really hard distance in this fucking game, man. But yeah, I think unlocking and running away from Goki is not a thing anymore. No, he'll run you down, yeah.
So to conclude, Shugoki, he's good 44, but lacks a speciality. He's not the best ganker, but does well there, especially now with Hug from neutral. He can, can set up GB for Hug. He's not the best team fighter, but he's decent there. He's one of the better ones, actually. He's an okay 1v honor towards being good 1v honor, but doesn't do the best there. He's just a decent character overall that can do well anyway. Do you agree?
I'll sign that.
Alright.
I also had a lot of fun playing him after I figured him out.
I see. So, next character, which is Hitokiri. It's an interesting one. I mean, a lot of them are interesting. I'd say Zhanhu and Hitokiri are Zhanhu, Hitokiri, and Shugoki are the three most interesting ones.
Yeah.
So Hitokiri, good changes left and right. The addition of a touch attack significantly helped him in every game mode. It's still unlucky that you cannot target swap it, but it helped him. It's still very good. It has very good hitbox, and it can follow up with attacks with hyper armor, which is very good. It means he doesn't have the safety of Zhanhu can dodge cancel, but he can at least do something about it. You can trade if you want to punish him. But the one downside is that he doesn't have the fastest chain link between the heavy and the dodge attack.
Interesting. I need to check that one. I don't know the number.
I know for all the changes, the chain link is a bit slow. Like for dodge attack, forward dodge attack, side dodge attack, and running attack, and zone attack, they just have slow chain link.
Interesting.
Her biggest problem got fixed. You can no longer backlight or back heavy her mix-ups anymore. Very important. She became a beast just because of this. Like, if you wouldn't have made the changes with dodge attack just because of this, she would have went from top B to maybe mid to top A. Dodge attack boosts her significantly, makes her bottom S. Other changes makes me to just say that she might be hands down one of the best heroes in the game when it comes to 1v1s. Sweep, being better also helps her. Just very good changes, very 1v1 oriented if you ask me. Or I'm not sure if they wanted this, but they look like they're very 1v1 oriented. What do you think of this?
Yeah. I mean, you have a few of these charge splash heroes, but I put her in the we have the gank here, and Warden, we have the 1v1 hero. I'd put her more towards Warden. It's clearly the mix-up more 1v1 oriented.
I can see that. And what would you think the strategy would be with her to, let's say on Harbor, to just have her to be the person that is on home point and tries to defend it and 1v1 in case it's needed?
Yeah.
And
I think she has... Sorry. She has one of the fastest time to kill, right? If she has you in her mix-up and you make 3 wrong reads, you're basically dead. So she kills you so fast. I don't think she needs to stay at a point, right? As long as she manages to seek out these 1v1s, she can, in theory, win them so quickly that, I don't know, the opponent has to decide to stall from the beginning, because once you're in the mix-up, might not be able to stall anymore.
Yeah, true. And now she can also catch a bit easier with running attack and dodge heavy, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm personally, I think that the forward dodge heavy isn't as good as people say. I still whiff it sometimes, and you need to delay it properly. It's not as idiot-proof as many others. Compared to Valiant Breakthrough, you're going to catch the guy that's rolling. But with hers, sometimes you just whiff. I'm not sure whether that's intended or... I mean, I'm fine with a little bit of, you need to delay it, a little bit of mechanical skill, I guess, if you want to call it that. But it's... I don't know, it just feels weird that some are so, catch everything, and the next one you can just mess up a little, and the tool doesn't fulfill the one thing it should. That's weird, because, you're not doing the forward dodge heavy in any other circumstances, right? So if it doesn't do that job, then why bother?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't make it feintable, then you just simply say, okay, this is simply a roll catching tool. You don't use it for anything else. If it doesn't do that, then what the fuck does it do?
Yeah, exactly. But what the fuck does it do? What does a finisher do?
Finisher
what does it? What do we have?
Fast type armor catches dodges, and that's it. Right?
I don't know. Does it catch dodges?
I mean, I don't know what it does. It's fast type armor.
Catching dodges, it's just combo heavy. That catches dodges. But the light? What does a light do? I think it's just a little bit lost. That one, you have it, sure. A light combat's fine, but what does it do in the end? That's the one thing that just stood out. I mean, did it stand out? I mean, the whole character stood out, but then everything worked so well, and then you have this.
Okay, but that's a
Initial light.
way bigger question. Like, for example, what does Ward or Light like do?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
It's just
I guess
another
maybe I'm
option.
singling her out there, and I don't know.
Alright. We have two characters left. We have Gladiator and we have Berserker. So, if there is one character that will change Centurion's 100 pick rate from Centurion, from the... Oh, it wasn't 100 pick rate, was it? Or still was? No, I think it was...
No, the Russian team ran Gladiator. Right?
Yeah, well, if there's someone to change his pick rate, would be Gladiator. Because you have right now you have, if there's one role that has to be, that doesn't have too many options, is the ganker. There's Gladiator, there's Centurion, and name me a third ganker that does the job as good as those two. You have like scuffed gankers, but none that specialize as much as these guys. Maybe Griffin. Griffin would be like the third. With with the impale and heavy bash heavy. That's very good as well. But the changes, as I said, changed him in an area he was already good at, and have slightly improved him in an area where he was he needed more improvement. Like, what? Let's see this as points he has distributed. He has, let's say, 50 points in ganking and 10 points in team fighting. The changes made him go from 50 to like 70 and from team fighting to 15. When in reality he needed points in team fighting and other areas, not ganking. He was already a good ganker. He needed to be better team fighter. He needed to be changed a bit how obnoxious he is in 1v1s. Not just improve an area he was already a beast at. What do you think, Mr. Freeze?
I think, yeah, no, I agree. His ganks are so potent, already were, but they're even more dangerous now because just of the more ways to get into them. And yeah, you just pick him because of that one role. And like you said, if he was able to diversify, that would be ideal, I'd say.
I guess. I mean, one thing that should, or what I will also say, is that these changes made him a way better ganker, but when it comes to being a character pick, he didn't become a way better character pick. Even though he's a way better, not way better, he's a better ganker, but the character pick kind of remained the same. I still wouldn't pick, let's say, Gladiator over Centurion, even with the changes. What do you think of this?
Yeah, I think he's a pick out of necessity. You just can't run your whole composition without a ganker. And if you don't want to play Centurion, you're just left with Gladiator then. Or if you just want to mix it up. Well, maybe you just think, my opponents are so used to Gladiator ganks, to Centurion ganks by now because they've been I keep saying the wrong one. I've been Centurion ganked hundreds of times. Maybe now we need to just switch it up. Maybe it'll take them much longer to adjust to that one. That's like one of the reasons I can see people want to try him out.
Yeah, I can see that. So he's basically a replacement to Sand, but the idea of Sand needing a replacement in the first place is a bit questionable. He's still a great ganker and still does the job very well and can do better in other areas as well. So why replace him? I mean, I don't know. At this point, every team has their own preference. Right now, a lot of teams are deciding to go way more towards Gladiator than Centurion, which, if you ask me, it's not the smartest move, but everyone does what they want, right? So, I don't know. To conclude him, he's a very good character. He's good, but in the shadow of Centurion. Not necessarily in the shadow, but like you pick one. Honestly, you just pick one. Gladiator or Centurion. What do you want? That's your character.
Can I quickly ask you something?
Yes.
I think with deflect ganks, Gladiator was absolutely broken, but no one bothered with that.
Wow.
I think he's not. I mean, you didn't really see it. I mean, was it just? That's what's going to be my question. Was it just too hard to set up, or because I think with deflect ganks, Gladiator should have been stronger than Centurion, just in the ganking department. But
yes.
that I don't know. No one really tried that except for the European kiddies. But now, when they buffed Gladiator, they're gonna. Everyone's gonna try him. But I think he's weaker than the deflect version. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
So why now? That is basically my question. Why not bother with the old stronger version?
Okay, we didn't bother with a strong version because we didn't identify how strong he is. And also to reach that potential, you have to put in a lot of work when you can just, you can pick Centurion and just bash and kill him. It's...
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
I know it just popped into my head when we were discussing that. So yeah, because I think the deflect version was so much stronger. But yeah, no one bothered, and now people are gonna, like you said, so many people, many teams are gonna switch to that. I wasn't aware of that. I thought they're gonna try them, sure, but so many, and convinced he's strong, interesting.
Think about it. The top 3 teams in Dominion Series had Gladiator and still have Gladiator, right? They got Ghost Overdose now on the team. The missing boats have Ghost Overdose, who is likely to play Gladiator, who can say. And then the Russians, I don't think they're gonna switch off Gladiator anytime
soon. They always had him, yeah.
So right now, out of the top 3 teams, Gladiator is most picked.
Interesting.
Take top 5, maybe it's like Centurion and Gladiator, 60-40 for Gladiator. I don't know, but it's still pretty close. Right now, Gladiator has a bit of the advantage. Nemesis doesn't believe that he's better. It's an ongoing, preference, I guess, at this point.
Yeah. I'm curious if he can establish himself, because I think it's gonna be, he's harder to pull off. Yeah, just curious if people will be able to make him work as easily as they think.
We'll have to see. The main series in 2 weeks.
Jeez, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, in 2 weeks and a half they will announce when. I don't know when we actually start.
No, we're gonna get details.
Yeah.
On Thursday. Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking forward to those.
Yeah.
All right, and lastly, my main, or my old main, my main at heart, Berserker. I mean, changes were good. Like, I cannot say the changes are bad. I can just say they were underwhelming. I mean, I wanted more. I didn't get more. This doesn't mean I will not get more in the future, but right now, the changes made him slightly better, but nothing special. Like, it's not like for Zhanhu, you took him from bottom A and you made him the best. You took him like from mid-A and you moved him like, what, 1 character, not even that? It basically remains stationary, if you ask me.
Yeah, like we said, like some of these changes should have just come with a normal patch. Like no one would have minded the top light being 500 now.
Yeah.
So it's like it's stuff we expected a long time ago that just got put in the TG. But yeah, me too. I expected more.
Okay, what about the concept that if you like when people heard that Berserker is gonna get buffed, they're like, "Wow, why are they buffing S tier characters?" Like they were telling me that in my comments, and I'm like, "What? I mean, it's obviously bad. Like just look at any high level match." So what do you do in the shoes of Ubisoft when he needs buffs, but the majority of the community already thinks he's so fucking strong?
Yeah. Like, see, I'm gonna flatter you now, because a lot of the times when people say, "Oh, Berserker is strong," even competitive players, they did not mean Berserker is strong. but you made him look strong. It's like they always talk, oh no, it's Berserker. That's what people said. Like that's what the bar was. If they talk Berserker is strong, then they meant, yeah, when you play him. And I think that's maybe stuck in people's mind. Because your Zerker is strong. But I don't know how to put this now. He still needed changes. Like the character objectively wasn't the best, even if you made him look better.
Yes. I mean, okay, so would you say the reason he's as high as he is on tier list is just based on the fact that I made him look good? And if there was no Barakit, he would be a bit lower?
Yes.
So by that concept, you need even more buffs. Yeah.
Don't blame me. It's a weird thing because I don't think that happened with any other hero. I think you're in a very unique thing, man. You and your Berserker.
See. Yeah, I cannot think of any other hero either. Maybe Lawbringer and Spliced. I don't know.
The unlock tech, yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
Nobody know what I mean, right? Because I can't come up with any player that made something like a hero truly stand out. It's always been a couple of players, like Nobu. I've been like 5 great Nobu players, but with Berserker, competitive, like it was just you.
Yeah. I can see that. I can also see like the fact that because of me, people had to adapt against his character. Something that I didn't. I don't know how to fight Berserker as well as my opponents know how to fight Berserker. Because I just don't fight Berserker. So oftentimes you find me like losing, say, Berserker mirrors, even though when it comes to like me playing Berserker against another character and then playing Berserker against that same character, I perform better, even though I lose in mirrors, because I just never fight Berserker and don't know how to fight Berserker.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, they have to practice of fighting the best. You don't.
Yeah, I guess. So, what do we conclude for Berserker? He needs more changes?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's for an assassin to truly stand out and be picked as a meta pick. They need something really, really strong, like Shaman back in the day. Strong feats, strong gank. That's why she was picked. Now Gladiator will be picked because ganking potential is insanely strong. And Berserker just needs more to stand out. He's not, like, what does he bring to the table that another hero just can't do better?
I guess. I mean, he's just another jack of all trades with good anti-ganking. Like, he seems like Aramusha nowadays. Like, maybe see it as like old Aramusha is, new Aramusha is like the old Berserker.
Yeah, you can anti-gank. I can see that, yeah. You can, if people just mindlessly attack him, he's going to look good.
Yes, I can see that. So, I think that this is it. We've talked about all the characters. This was way longer than expected.
Yeah, it was way long.
It was good. Hopefully something productive came out of this.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for doing this. If people like, we can do more of those. It was more fun.
Yeah. Let us know, guys. Let us know. Might do more. Alright. Obviously, you can check for this in the description below. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Latest, everybody.
Wow, you said your catch line.